Hello and welcome to another Gentleman video. This time we'll talk about the Pipe Village, one of 7 major locations in Gentleman. The first one I started working on back in 2022, and actually the first one whose creation was later abandoned. Even though I never finished working on the Pipe Village, and you will probably never see anything related to this location in the actual game, I am feeling obliged to tell you how it was made and why it was made in the first place. In its core concept, Pipe Village was supposed to be what I called at the time safe location. Main hub for our players to quickly grab necessary items, change equipment or simply save the game. I wanted it to be the only location in Gentleman without enemies to fight. To put it simply, and to give you an example, a place you visit right after finishing the tutorial and use it as your base for the rest of the game. Something along the lines of Firelink Shrine from Dark Souls or Dirtmouth from Hollow Knight. If you played those games, or any game for that matter, you get the idea. If you don't, well you should, because they're exceptional. But to get you the idea, think about your room at your parents' house, or the hotel room if you are abroad. You keep your stuff there, you always come back there after a long day of traveling, and it's probably the first place you've ever visited when you were in the area. I should also mention the possibility of inviting your friends. You could gather shopkeepers, different NPCs, and ask them to come to the Pipe Village. Then use a quick travel feature to teleport yourself back to the location, and they would be there for the rest of the game. I really wanted this place to evolve and adapt to the state of the story and progress made by the player. Story-wise, it was serving as the refugee camp, a village created by the Moss citizens, later on named Owls, to escape the oppression of our main antagonist, later on named Spite. For more information about this event, refer to the video in the description. Visually, I wanted Pipe Village to express the feeling of isolation and abandonment. I imagined people living there as scared and resentful, so they probably would choose a place as far beyond the reach of their oppressor as they could. Everything was supposed to look depressing and primitive, as if everyone inhabiting this place were barely getting by. So I thought about a village built inside a big hole in the ground, so it feels safe and well protected against invaders. When the refugees discovered this crater, they found only an abandoned statue standing in the middle. They decided to build their camp in a circle around it, as it was perfectly in the middle of the crater. They made their homes out of abandoned parts of machinery and gigantic heads, which I believe are the relics of an ancient past, left to rot and scattered around the mossland. The statue in the middle is a depiction of Honor, as well as the entrance to the catacombs, a place where Honor, the hero of Mossland and the protagonist of Gentleman, lays dead for thousands of years. It is also the starting point of the game and the tutorial location as well. The player was to enter the Pipe Village right after finishing the tutorial, thus going through the catacombs, which were connected by the hidden passageway leading up to the basement underneath one of the houses inside the village. Then, while going further through the basement, the player was supposed to scare one of the residents inside his home. It may sound like a cheesy way to bring some humor into the game, but I think it was cool. As the population of this small community grew, they even started to create local businesses and little shops to sell scavenged goods. One of those businesses was founded by 2 brothers, Krankle and Krankle. I will create a separate video about them, but as they are directly correlated with Pipe Village, they cannot be left unspoken for. But it's worth noting, their background and design changed dramatically, so everything you'll hear is no longer valid in the current state of our game. Uncle is the older sibling. He's a calm man of good stature and slim figure, most often seen beside the counter, smoking his pipe and lazily leafing through the shop's ledgers. Uncle is single-handedly running the family shop, focusing more on tasks at hand and making sure the business is going well, as opposed to his brother. Krankle, on the other hand, is more eccentric and courageous. He isn't afraid of leaving Pipe Village. In fact, he's a traveling merchant. You could find him in every location in the game, but only once. Then, he will travel further in search of another adventure. As they are siblings, they were supposed to look pretty much identically, with only slight deviations like a backpack worn by Krankle and Uncle's smoking pipe. I think I covered everything I could about Pipe Village. I wanted this video to serve as a starting point for further discussion about Sanctuary of the Moss, Catacombs, and a proper video about Uncle and Krankle. If you have any suggestions and ideas about our game, or this channel in general, please share your thoughts in the comments below. That being said, stay tuned and have a great day. Bye.